had to touch them, never had to do anything but sit down. And any detective and any policeman in any town knows the following. You sit down, you have a smoke, you have a drink together, you talk, you get a lot more information than torturing. Waterboarding does not work. But if they're not convinced, I'd be happy to waterboard Donald Rumsfeld so that he can explain how he did 9/11. I'd be happy to waterboard Cheney to explain how he did 9/11. I'd waterboard Wolfowitz for 9/11 since he's a coward, and Elliot Abrams, who's the Council on Foreign Relations, and he is a total coward, who was also involved in Honduras and Nicaragua and the Contra affair. He's never been held accountable. So we have all of these people who have never been held accountable coming back again like sewage. We have a backup of a sewage system. And now the garbage owner is Obama. And he's just stirring the pot to make sure that everybody gets to be liked. And everybody has a narrative that's consistent with suppression, oppression, and he gets reelected. The Republicans are no better. Believe me, they are just pathetic. If you look at the entire field, they have nothing to say except platitudes.
Well, the main doctor, and again, we're talking the real-life Jack Ryan, folks, co-wrote the books with Clancy, wrote the modern Black Op system, cannons that are used, and he's here basically spilling the reality out for people because we're in such crisis, a crisis because the elite, like Nero or Caligula, is going insane. And they are just putting out more and more bizarre lies. What about the childish media that keeps saying, well, why would Bush not do the fake killing of bin Laden? And then why would Obama, as if they're fighting with each other, when both parties continue to cover up for the crimes of the last administration? And this is all part of that continuity of the military-industrial complex. And then I want to get into the point.
Understand what it means to be a news reporter and an anchor person. Number one, in order to get information, you have to be egregious to access yourself to the individual you want to write about. So from the very beginning, the media wants to portray itself as an adversary, but really what they are sycophants. If you look at the entire dynamic of the media, which I rarely talk to the press.
It's fake fights. Fake fights.
They're total sycophants. They basically will call up and say, oh, would you please talk to me really on the record, off the record? You can play games with the media, and I've done it where I've had 3 different quotations, all done by myself, on the record, off the background, deep background. So you play games with them. In the PSYOPs world, we play games with them. In the world of Obama, he needs it in order to feed his ego because he has nothing else. There's nothing else to manipulate except the people in the media who become the news itself. So you have the very personalities in the media talking about themselves and the people of America getting sick. It's egregious. We're getting sick. I don't want to see every one of them. They have nothing to say. Most of them have never really done anything except read a teleprompter. Having said that, however, there are very brave journalists. I do want to say Anderson Cooper did a very great job in Egypt. The people at CNN, when they were in Tahrir Square, really sacrificed their lives on the line. But for the most part, there are certain guys like Bernie Wertzman and others whom I've known who've been really brave, who've gotten down the field, but those days are gone.
All right, Doc, one final segment. Stay there. Amazing.
Will I have garlic breath after I take Ali C?
We get that question all the time about the world's best garlic extract, Ali C. And the answer is, Ali C contains stabilized allicin, nature's antimicrobial agent, and the active ingredient in crushed garlic, but will not give you garlic breath. Scientifically proven in double-blind studies, using low doses of allicin greatly reduces the number, severity, and duration of common colds. Our powerful Ali C contains 300 milligrams of stabilized allicin. Just 1 tablet of Ali C is equivalent to 40 garlic cloves. It's effective against asthma, MRSA, bacterial, fungal, and viral infections, and helps lower high blood pressure and high cholesterol. Plus, it's a natural mosquito repellent. Boosts resistance to infection with nature's best garlic extract, Ali C. For more information and to order Ali C, call 877-888-7126 or go to garlichealthproducts.com. That's 877-888-7126 or garlichealthproducts.com. Fight back with Ali C.
Alex Jones here with key information. The U.S. government is a Ponzi scheme that relies on the Treasury continuously selling large amounts of government bonds to foreign central banks. With Japan about to become a seller of U.S. bonds in order to rebuild its own nation, and the U.S. antagonizing China by calling them currency manipulators, the Federal Reserve, which is already buying about 70% of U.S. Treasuries, will soon be the only buyer left of U.S. Treasuries. Our friends at the National Inflation Association believe that the U.S. dollar will soon become worthless, and Americans will see the purchasing power of their incomes and savings destroyed. I strongly urge my fellow Americans to sign up for the free NIA newsletter at www.inflation.us. If you are sick and tired of the economic propaganda in the mainstream media, sign up for free at inflation.us to learn the economic truth that the mainstream media ignores.
If you suffer from poor sleep, you need MyPillow. Guaranteed to be the most comfortable pillow you will ever own. Using a patented fill, MyPillow adjusts to your exact individual needs by gently supporting your head, shoulders, and neck. MyPillow has a natural built-in cooling effect, keeping your cervical nerves cool, giving you the best sleep of your life. MyPillow will never go flat and relieves snoring, migraines, sleep apnea, fibromyalgia, and many other disorders. It's antimicrobial, non-allergenic, dust mite resistant, and best of all, machine washable and dryable. MyPillow is made in the USA, has an A rating with the Better Business Bureau, comes with a 60-day money-back guarantee and an industry-leading 10-year warranty. Order today at MyPillow.com or call 952-442-6199. That's 952-442-6199. Mention coupon code GCN and receive 20% off your order. What do you have to lose except poor sleep? MyPillow.com, the most comfortable pillow you will ever own, guaranteed.
Iodine protection packs from hempusa.org are now in stock for immediate delivery worldwide. Our iodine protection packs include microplant powder, green life kelp, red palm oil, and our clear roll-on iodine that will feed the body the iodine it needs. All iodine protection packs are in stock, save you money, and ship for free in all 50 states. Visit hempusa.org or call 908-691-2608 today.
We the people grow cotton, weave fabric, engrave ink, embed strips and fibers to protect from counterfeit and carting to a private bank, having it lent back at interest, forcing taxes to service debt. This capitalism, or was Jefferson correct when stating a central bank issuing the public currency is a greater menace to the liberties of the people than a standing army? Hi, Ted Anderson. I'm placing a silver dollar in a book explains our monetary system. Call for your copy, 800-686-2237. It's time to understand the system. Call 800-686-2237. That's 800-686-2237.
Well, Dr. Steve Pieczenik is legendary, and no one knows what he looks like. And he is a humble man. Soon, in the next few weeks, we're going to have him back and just talk about some of the things he can talk about in Black Ops, overthrowing governments, writing the current handbook for Black Ops, psychological warfare, helping found the Delta Force. I mean, it's just one of his exploits you could spend 10 hours on. You could write books. That's why he has 27 New York Times #1 bestsellers. Tom Clancy on record, his main advisor. You wonder how it's all done. It's Dr. Pieczenik on record telling you who the 9/11 conspirators are, saying he'll go before a federal grand jury. 9 years ago, breaking down the fake Bin Laden garbage. It is incredible. In closing, sir, studying Homeland Security. I saw Governor Ridge 8 years ago on a 2-hour C-SPAN program with top CEOs say that they're going to first take over the airports, train us to be, felt up and everything. They'd phase it in, and then they were going to federalize through the fusion centers and roll it out everywhere. Now I've seen CNN announcing naked body scanners to go in the malls. 9,000 locations now have TSA screens, including Walmart's, saying tattle on your neighbors, right out of 1984. And they are announcing in CBS News that they are now going to prepare at pedestrian malls, shopping centers, and there's a TSA, PSA, showing them in a mall, and that now randomly federal pot-bellied goons are going to wander over and stick their hands down your pants as an act of total submission and domination. As a psychiatrist and expert in this, sir, is this not the martial law rollout without them telling us it's martial law?
Well, in effect, it's a de facto martial law, but basically it's very ineffectual. What happens is that you increase suppression on a domestic population, which has not been in any way disturbed. or in any way has been quite content and has not shown any activities of disruption, it's very dangerous. What happens in effect, you're creating the very disruption that you fear. And once again, the head of Homeland Security really does not understand the dynamics of having security versus having freedom, and neither does the President of the United States. And one of the most important things to understand is our liberties are the most important. We have a very stable society. We've had very little terrorism. We are not going to have terrorism. The terrorism that occurred at 9/11 was because of a president that wanted to go to war. If they insist on putting more so-called security to protect ourselves against ourselves for things that didn't exist, this will be the beginning of the Second American Revolution, which in many ways will be very peaceful, but will be very disturbing because Homeland Security and this president's real legacy to America will be the agitation and the disruption and the lies that are continuing. And
well, you know what they're going to do. They're going to start arresting. They're going to start arresting.
They better learn history. They better learn American history, because when we're left alone, we're very fine. But, basically, there are many of us who believe in our rights and will defend it and will go to war the same way I will. The reason I went on your show is I've gone 8 times to war for our country in 8 missions, and I'll go a 9th time, including this one, which I see as an absurd disruption of our democracy and our freedoms. And if they insist that this is what they think is best for national security, then they must pay the price. I render unto Caesar that which is Caesar, and I will give it to him. If Obama sees himself as Caesar and denigrates us, then he will go the way of Caesar, as will Homeland Security. There is no other solution, because the more force you will use against peaceful people, it'll come back to hurt them. All they have to look is Egypt, Libya, the Middle East. Those young students can be mobilized here in the United States. They should be, and they will not be tolerating this type of suppression. And they don't understand that now, with the technology that we have and the ability for people like you to reality test this, and then eventually what will happen is they are seeding the seeds of their own destruction. And this is what Obama does not understand. He's not smart enough.
No, exactly. The founding fathers finally...
I mean, one of the key things that people never got to is he's just not very bright. And the fact that they think he went to Harvard doesn't mean anything. I've got more idiots who came from Harvard who don't know how to run a paycheck or don't know how to run a mortgage. I never hire anybody in a business who came out of Harvard Business School. They're just not that bright. It's not an everyday man. But the man has never done anything. So what we have here is the seeds of imperial presidency extended from Bush Jr., before that Clinton, and now we get to the supreme idiocy of a man who really doesn't understand psychological warfare, national security, or war, and has ordered our military to sacrifice its best men and women in a noble cause that they always believe in, defending our freedoms, but are really involved in civil action,
I hear you. We're out of time.
No part is doing.
We're out of time, Doctor.
Yep,
StevePieczenik.com, StevePieczenik.com, links at Infowars.com. He'll be back tomorrow and Friday. Stay with us. Stay with us, folks.
We're on the march. The empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
Over the last year, Alex has told you about, and many of you have experienced, emergencies and disasters in unprecedented numbers. People have had to literally run for their lives. Folks, this is Steve Shank with eFoods Direct. I'm not here to scare you, but when disaster strikes, you won't have time to think. You must act automatically. What does a pilot do when the helicopter engine fails in flight? No time to think, just act automatically. When the alert is broadcast, the alarm sounds, or the knock comes on your door, you'll need to be ready to act without thinking of what to do or what you need. You need a 5-day extreme emergency kit. With serious supplies and real food to secure 2 adults for 5 days, this powerful $300 extreme emergency kit is free with an order of at least $995 from eFoods Direct. Go to efoodsdirect.com/Alex or call 800-409-5633. That's efoodsdirect.com/Alex. 800-409-5633.
You may be arrested and or subject to other police action.
Tyranny is here. The grim future foretold in 1984 has become reality.
It really says that the state is God.
The United States is now recognized globally as one of the most oppressive police states on Earth. This film conclusively proves the existence of a secret network of FEMA camps, now being expanded